Less than a month after returning from his shoulder injury, the Golden State Warriors superstar Stephen Curry has yet another injury, his second for the year, and things aren't looking good. This isn't supposed to happen. Hey, what's happening everyone? This is Swish. After a left shoulder subluxation earlier this year, which caused Steph to miss 11 games, we saw Curry come back on the 10th of January against the Phoenix Suns, donning his new fit shooting sleeve, only for the chef to go down yet again after a late third quarter collision with the Mavs' Mckinley Wright during the Warriors' win over Dallas. This time, Curry injured his left superior tibiofibular ligaments and interosseous membrane. Lower left leg injury. He'll be out for an unspecified amount of time until we get a further update. After coming back from his last injury, there didn't seem to be much concern with Curry and his health. He was able to immediately carry the full load of the team and resume productivity without reservation. Fast forward to not even a month later, and Curry is out yet again. This is a tough road ahead for the Warriors for sure, but like they did from mid-December through early January, the rest of the guys on the squad will have to pick up the load and keep the team afloat until Curry returns. What does this injury mean for the team? What shakeups are we going to see? The last time Steph Curry had a lower leg injury, he was out until the playoffs. So how does this impact this year's title run? Are these injuries a signal for something bigger at play? Be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and watch till the end as I address all those concerns. So the good news is that the x-rays came back negative, so there were no bone injuries, no fragmentation or fracturing. The bad news is that there are tears instead of just a sprain. While I have no official timeline of a return for Steph Curry at the moment, preliminary research indicates this injury will take about 4 to 8 weeks to heal. He'll have to pass some physical tests to come back, however, at least he's not out for the season. The bad thing is he might have to wear a brace or tape it for a year. So that means your boy Curry might have to come back looking like your friendly neighborhood ninja. Jokes aside, is there something more serious at play? Steph Curry turns 35 years old in 2 months. The average age for retirement in the NBA is just under 34 years old. There's a reason for that. While some players have more durability, unfortunately, the injury list for Steph Curry would indicate something else entirely. While he seemed to have had a good run for a few years, he had injuries every year of his career. It should be interesting to know that for half of those championship years, however, he did have to carry the team in its entirety. Outside of 2015, Durant was there to keep some of the load off of Stephen Curry. This of course didn't stop Curry from getting injured during the regular season, but he had always been healthy for the postseason. This is actually one of the reasons for signing a player like KD. You get to keep your top player as healthy as possible for as long as possible. The fact that Curry has had such a checkered past when it comes to injuries, however, has a silver lining. The silver lining is that this happens every year, so there's no reason to think this has specifically to do with his age. So no worries, Warriors fans, you're still in the clear here. If anyone says otherwise, please check your sources. That being said, the team still has to figure out how to weather the storm. First things first. It is obvious that this means Jordan Poole will get thrust into the starting lineup in Curry's place. This is a given. Is this good enough to help the Warriors stay afloat? The team record is 7-8 without Curry this season, which is slightly worse than their overall record. The thing to take into consideration, however, is that while Curry was out, so was Wiggins. The team was able to close out Dallas without Curry on the floor. However, the concern regarding this team being able to close out was still in question, as the team only scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. Jordan Poole has averaged 28 points, 4.3 assists, and 2.7 rebounds in 15 games without Stephen Curry this season. In those games, Poole is averaging just 29% from 3 on 10 attempts per game. The other half of the backcourt in Klay Thompson has averaged 25.6 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 2.8 assists in just 9 games without Stephen Curry this season on 38% from 3. Alternatively, Steve Kerr could opt for Dante DiVincenzo, a more poised and controlled player. However, I doubt he'll put Dante in ahead of Poole. If anything, Kerr may run small and have both players in with Wiggins at the 4 and Dre at the 5. So we know the lineup Kerr will likely be running, but will this lineup be effective? Klay Thompson is still playing with restrictions and has yet to play a back-to-back game. The Warriors have 2 back-to-back games just this month, with the first on Valentine's Day and the second 10 days later. We know for certain those days the Dubs will be going with Poole and DiVincenzo, barring any injury to the two, and rely much more heavily on two-way player Ty Jerome. The Warriors then have 2 more back-to-back games in March, which Curry will likely miss. However, Klay may be ready for back-to-back games, although there hasn't been any revelation from Kerr on that just yet. Andrew Wiggins isn't exactly back to himself at this point, and as we've seen, even in the game versus the Mavericks, he's not quite ready to take on a scoring load, finishing the night with just 9 points, the lowest on a starting lineup that included Draymond. Considering Wiggins is our 3rd or 4th scoring option, I'm expecting him to pick it up over the next few games. If not, he might have some trouble, as Kuminga has been making moves on the bench, and with his rapidly improving skill level, may end up usurping Wiggins in some capacity during the regular season. While Kuminga is more suited for Draymond's minutes, he has the ability to guard players 1 through 5 and still stretches the floor on occasion. While Poole will certainly try to step into that role for Curry, I don't think anyone will expect him to fully carry the load. He did a fantastic job last year prior to the beginning of the playoffs, and an okay job this year next to Klay and Dante. But the lack of certainty will still impact this team's ability to win close games. Those minutes from Curry will be distributed among the guards, and if the front office does go ahead and manage to sign Matisse Thybulle, that will put some well-needed pressure on the opposing team's offense and give our young guys some adrenaline to increase the pace and run in transition.
The block by Thybulle gets them out in transition and running. And look at the speed.
If the team is without Curry for an extended period, and this is just a guess here, of approximately 2 months, he'll be back around the beginning of April to face the OKC Thunder on the 4th, the same team he'll miss the first game against, on Monday. He would then play the remaining 2 games on the 7th and 9th versus the Kings and the Trailblazers respectively. Till then, however, the Warriors may have to rely on the rest of the roster to take them to the playoffs. This does mean the play-in tournament is back in play as a possibility in the worst case scenario. As constructed, the team should be able to maintain a 500 pace without Curry, as I would have expected them to start climbing the ranks towards the 3rd seed or even better post All-Star break. Not that they need to, but the Grizzlies in 2nd are only 5 wins ahead of Golden State. With 29 games left in the season at this point, it won't be that difficult for the Warriors to stay at or near the top and avoid the play-in altogether with or without Steph Curry. An injury to Poole or Klay would certainly look disastrous, but for now the Warriors are still in the clear. This is going to be a big postseason clear-up for Jordan Poole. He did it before, and I believe he can do it again this year, maybe even better. Let me know in the comments if you think Steph Curry's injury prevents the Warriors from making the playoffs this year. Should the Warriors put their veterans on the front lines to win as many games as possible till Curry returns? If the team goes a few games post All-Star break and are not winning, should they just give PBJ, Rollins, and Wiseman all the development minutes they can handle and try again next year? Share your thoughts below and discuss. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Warriors content. Thanks for watching. Till next time, swish.